David,
Yes.
you look like a serious person with your shades and mustache. You
I
could
mean,
be
I was
another doppelganger.
I was trying. That's what I was going for. Thanks so much for joining me today. I've got Pasqual Gutierrez and Ben Mullinkosson of Serious People, which comes to select theaters on December 12th, 2025, and VOD on December 16th, 2025. It is a not so serious indie comedy that actually deals with some serious subjects. I loved kind of the indie aspects of it. I thought it was very funny and the ridiculous situation. So I definitely think you should check it out. And I'm very excited to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hey man, thanks for having us. It's a
Of
pleasure.
course, of course. So I guess first question for Ben is the reason that Ben you weren't involved in this because you didn't have a mustache. Is that the only reason? Because it seems like everyone had just fabulous mustaches in this movie, and it just made me so happy to see. So Ben, is that why you
Man,
didn't get up behind the screen?
I gotta tell you two things. First of all, I had a mustache at the time, and I had a mustache for the last 15 years of my life, and I just shaved it a month ago. So I'm
What? What?
actually, and the second
What?
thing is, I'm in the movie. I'm in the very first shot, but you gotta kind of like the whole movie is kind of like Where's Waldo, where you gotta find
Yeah, find
certain
you.
story beats, And so if you watch the first shot again, you'll see me in there.
You're like that hanging midget in The Wizard of Oz, right? The one the secret one that everyone sees. You're that person. So wait,
I'm the
why did
He's
you
hanging
in there.
midget.
why did you shave your mustache for November? That seemed like, are you just counterculture? Is that how this works?
Actually, it's like it's a really it's a really bizarre story, but I was taking ancient Chinese pictures with my family and I wanted to look like a pretty girl in the picture, so I shaved my mustache and like put on makeup and like yeah, we have a family picture I'll share with you, but has nothing to do with the film.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm sure you were gorgeous. I'm sure it was well worth it. Uh, so, like Pascal, you wrote this. What kind of made you want to write this film? I mean, I assume it was just the weight of life and kind of like just wanting to express some of the things going on in your life in a not so serious way. What kind of inspired the story for you?
Yeah, I mean, well, Ben and I wrote it together, but I would say, the story came from a dream that I had when Christine was in the second trimester and I was really stressed out. I was, a lot of these things, it's docu-fiction. People are calling this film docu-fiction. People are calling
Mhm.
it like this hybrid. A lot of the things that are happening in the film are things that are real and pertinent to my real life. And so at the time, I was really having shingles and having this existential crisis about working in this industry and nervous about that and this expecting child. And so I had this dream where I casted a doppelganger on Craigslist, and it was really ridiculous and kind of funny in this dream, and it was super vivid, and it was essentially the entire premise of Serious People. And um I told Christine the dream the next day. She thought it was funny. She was like, "You should turn it into a movie. We have time. We should just cast all of our friends and do it." And then I called Ben, who was in China, and convinced him to do it. And we made the film. So that's where it came from.
And the stress of the film made Ben want to then take a picture of himself as a beautiful lady just to like escape from all the
Exactly.
yeah. I
Yes.
do love that you're like, I am so stressed with the thought of having a child. My wife is in the second trimester. I'm going to make an indie film because that's how you get rid of the stress that causes shingles is make an indie film, right?
There you go. It causes more shingles, actually.
Yeah, I'm amazed. Did you have another breakout? Like, is that?
I did later, actually. Yeah,
Oh
I
God,
did. I
oh
did. It was
God.
pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard it's terrible. I've heard it's an awful experience. So
not ideal,
yeah.
but hey,
So
it's all good.
I also love that, for the casting, you kind of went with who you know. You had all your friends playing like versions of themselves. Did you kind of leave it up to them to kind of come up with these doppelgangers, these characters that they were making? And were they kind of like therapy for them? They got to like express these things that they would never like show you in real life. They got to show this on screen. Like how did that work out?
Yeah, the second part that you're talking about, the
Yeah.
latter of that, I think is something that we haven't talked that much about in interviews and stuff, and I think that is a really good thing to talk about with this film. It was that, it created this weird veil where people could be very emotionally honest under
Mhm.
the guise of this being a narrative fiction film, you know? And it was therapeutic, I think, for a lot of the characters. And that's I think the staying power of this movie as we get further away from shooting it. I mean, it's only been like 2 years since we made the movie, but like, I think as time goes, that's something that we're gonna hold on to and be like, wow, it was like a moment in time and people were feeling these kinds of ways, and it was very like snapshotted, you know? And I think that the relatability of that is something that's resonating with audiences a lot, even beyond the absurd. It's such an absurd movie, but like
Yeah.
there's real human truths in there, if you let them. So, and then the characters, Ben and I, we made those characters too, like we were the puppeteers, we were orchestrating it, we were writing the story, we were directing everyone, but
Mhm.
we were directing them all under the guise that they were all versions of who they were. And even when Ben and I were writing things, we were never writing things fully out of the character of the person of who they would be in real life, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
things never felt too contrived in that way, except for Miguel, who was truly an agent of chaos. Like he
You could
was the
say that.
most like he was he was very intentionally made that way. And he was a disruptor, and he was a method actor, actually, I would say. Like
Mhm.
he would become this menace and then just remain in sicko mode.
For the entire, wow, that's I mean,
Yeah.
I guess good on him for the commitment, but that must have been a little frustrating. But I guess it helps with the chaos of the set. But no, I love hearing that because like in a similar vein, like these interviews are a way for me to kind of like break out of my shell and be more outgoing and be more talkative than I am in my normal life, and it lets me kind of work on that aspect of who I am and how I approach people and try out things. Sometimes I'll do something a little risky. I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but you know what? This is a safer spot than like in a real interaction with someone. So
Mm, yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
I hope this
uh,
helps.
yeah. I'm not planning on making an indie film. I do not want to get shingles, so I will. But maybe sometime in the
Uh,
future.
there you
um,
go.
so I loved reading the notes how like everyone, all the actors had, some sort of director experience. A lot of them had directorial, credits in their background. So that must have been wonderful in some respects because you've got people who know what the camera needs and they're kind of like thinking in that way when
Mhm.
they're on screen. But is it also difficult when you, as a director, have a vision for how the scene's going to go and you're trying to like give them direction? Was it a double-edged sword in that respect, or how did you kind of like manage people that had experience, that you were gaining?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I think that was the most frustrating, but also the most fun part of making the film. I remember there are multiple scenes, especially with Christine, when we're filming her, where we'd set up the shot and be like, okay, Christine, this is what you're gonna do. And she would just be like, no, that's not what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do. That's not what my character would do. You guys did a bad writing. I'm gonna completely. And then the movie would get better because we listened to Christine.
Mhm.
And that happened also with Raul. Like Pasquale and I didn't really write dialogue, Like we didn't write a script. It was just a Google Doc with like a short couple sentences of this is what's gonna happen from 2 minutes to 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. It was very basic. And so when it comes to filming the scene, yeah, like everyone is kind of creating their own character and going off of whatever they want to share in the scene. So, yeah, I mean, especially like I think with Christine's character in the talk of therapy in the film, the scene on the rooftop where she's having a fight with Pasquale about the doppelganger project, she was genuinely frustrated with us for making this movie. And I feel like that scene was a opportunity for her to voice her feelings on camera. And so, although the
Yeah.
phrasing is more specific to the film and less about the filmmaking, like her acting or her performance is genuine. And I think that it was a way for her to let Pasquale know that like, hey, you got to go fix the washing machine or like you got to be more present. you know?
The metaphorical washing machine of life. Exactly.
Oh, that's
But I
right.
think that was
That's
real.
right.
Wasn't the washing
Yeah.
machine
That
like
was real.
actually
The
broken?
washing machine was broken. Yeah. She was upset about that. Yeah.
Life imitates art, or art imitates life,
Yeah.
I guess, in this case.
It's
And the
true.
most important question: has Drake seen this film, or does Drake know about this film? Do you know if Drake knows about this film?
I don't know. I don't know if he knows about it. I have a feeling somebody associated with him at some point must. I hope. I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right. Well, we'll see. Hopefully, in the future, maybe it'll make it into a Drake song. Maybe it'll be a lyric in a,
I
you
would
know,
love that. I would
yeah.
love that. I would love that. I think that would be amazing.
I mean, serious people
Yeah.
is a good, like, it's a good phrase to throw into some sort of lyric to just like drop it there. So, so I know we have limited time. I know you have a very
I would
busy
love
schedule.
that. Yeah.
I'm going to switch to just lightweight questions about the film. I want to see how your personal experiences map the things in the movie. They will probably map very closely, but I'll do my best. You can feel free to skip any of them. I will not be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable. First question:
Cool.
if you get a doppelganger to do anything for you, what would you have them do? And we'll start with you, Ben.
Man, I would have them go networking for me.
Love it. What about you, Pasquale?
I would have them directing,
Oh,
just like the
yeah.
movie.
Just like I guess that makes perfect sense. That's right on brand. Hopefully they'll do a better job, but well, who knows? You can only get what you pay for.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah.
Next question: have you ever punched someone? We'll start with you, Pasquale, because you're right there.
Have I ever punched somebody? No, I actually haven't.
All right.
Actually, that's not true. I have punched my brothers before,
Okay, but yeah, I mean
but
Yeah,
that's like a loving family punch,
yeah,
not like a
not
yeah,
like not a big fight punch.
yeah.
No.
same.
What about
I
you,
think I
Ben?
just punched my brother. I just punched my brother. That was it.
Okay, all right. So maybe for the next movie, maybe you can actually punch someone. Get that out in your acting.
There you go.
Um, Next question: have you ever? I guess can you assemble a crib? Can you fix a dryer? This is you, Ben.
I could not do either. I think I could figure out the crib. I could watch a YouTube video, but I've never done it.
Okay, all right, good to know. What about you, Pasquale?
Um, I actually couldn't build the crib. I needed Miguel to help me build it for real. Yeah.
I love how this
But
is just basically your life.
Since I have adjusted it,
Uh-huh.
because now my daughter, she's not 2 yet, but she's getting bigger, and I had to adjust and modify the crib, and I did that by myself.
Oh, perfect. All right, so you are growing just like your
I'm
character in the
growing,
movie. Yeah,
just
it's
like my
perfect.
character.
Just like who actually is you. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And the last question: if you could direct any artist, in a movie, in a music video, whatever you want, who would it be? And we'll start with you, Pasquale.
I would direct. Man, that's such a good question. I think I would choose to direct Al Pacino
Oh, interesting.
in his youngest era.
Okay. Youngest Al Pacino, just to see him right at the
Youngest
start.
Al Pacino in a comedy.
Okay. All right. And I assume he has a mustache in this movie, so it'll be perfect.
He's got to have a mustache, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, has to. What about you, Ben?
I would direct Pasquale
All right.
because of this, because Pasquale is a joy to work with and a genius.
That is a cop-out answer because you've already directed Pasquale.
Thanks, man.
So,
Yeah, he
but
already
I'll
has.
allow it. I'll allow it. So the film is coming out, later this month in December. You're out promoting the film, getting the word out, and also dealing with the fallout of making a film in the third trimester of your pregnancy. So, after people see this movie, what can they look next from you? Do you all have any other projects on the horizon? Any other life crises coming along? And I guess Ben probably does.
Ben?
Yeah, after I have a new film, we wrote the script after premiering and we shot it last summer, and so we're in post right now. It's called Fuck Boy, and it's a film about the group of skaters that I skate with every day, and it's a fiction film about 3 days when they lose their group of friends, lose their girlfriends, their pride, and their front teeth.
Okay. That is not the premise I thought when I heard the title of the film. So I am curious to see how this film progresses. Pasqual,
Well,
what
you
about
Yes,
know,
you?
skaters are, everyone says we're fuckboys, so here's our movie.
There you go. Excited to see it.
that's it.
All right. There we go. So,
Um, uh, what's
yeah.
up?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm doing a sequel of Serious People.
All right. More serious
Yes.
people, serious sir people.
It's called One of Us.
One of
It's
us.
called
Okay.
One of Us.
All right. Well,
Stay tuned.
I'm excited to see where that goes. I'm excited to see what life issues you will unpack in that, and what free therapy you'll get.
There's a
So
lot in that one. Yeah.
while you wait for both of those movies, check out Serious People, coming to theaters on December 12th, 2025, and VOD on December 16th, 2025. This is Pasqual Gutierrez and Ben Mullinkosson. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. It was a lot of fun.